What's going on, everybody? This is another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith. We got a special guest here for you guys here today. Hailing all the way from the great city, Colorado Springs, the DMV Native, back again for a second time. First time ever having a second time guest on the show. Got former collegiate athlete, my brother, Isaac Davidson. What's going on, man?
Back, baby. How you doing, man?
Man, shaking, baking, earthquaking, everything, man. Just living life.
I feel it. Glad to be back.
Yeah, man, absolutely, man. And hey, really quick before we get started, shout out to everybody who loved on the episode about Washington Redskins. We were talking about Dwayne Haskins. A lot of crazy stuff, man, and we got a lot of great feedback, man. So, Isaac, man, you're a citizen of the channel, man. People love you, man.
Big ups to the family, man. All my other Skins fans out there, or team to be named at a later date fans.
Washington asterisk. Washington asterisk.
we in this together.
All right, Isaac. So, hey, you being a Washington fan, now you're an expert in this field. You know that team like I know Miami, right?
Right.
You're very intelligent, so I have a lot of questions, but we're going to start off with a little icebreaker here today, if that's all right with you.
Okay.
So, wrote down a few names, okay? Yay or nay, okay? You let me know, yes or no, okay?
Okay.
All right. We got the Washington Redwolves. What you think?
Honestly, of all of them, that's my favorite one. It's built a lot of kind of fanfare among social media, and it's kind of spread to outside of social media now. Like a lot of the boomers are kind of rocking with it. Preferably, I'm gonna just keep it a buck. They're always gonna be the Redskins to me. Think what you want, say what you want. I don't care. But if for the sake of being politically correct, I do like the Redwolves. I will say that.
That's awesome. And what would the logo be? Would it be a wolf? Would it be a Native American wearing a wolf? Would it be a half man, half wolf? What would it be?
From what I'm seeing, there's been a lot of really good concept art out there that I would be totally fine with if it was to come to fruition. But it most likely be a wolf.
Gotcha. I like it.
You get the howling on third down. You get the wolf den. It's a lot of good things that you can kind of rock with. And being a CSU Pueblo Thunder Wolf myself, it's an easy transition for me.
Oh, yeah. And for those who don't know, who maybe didn't catch the first episode, my brother, not only did he play for New Mexico Highlands University Cowboys, but he also played for the CSU Pueblo Thunderwolves. Those who don't know, give yourself a little homework assignment. Check them out. They crank out. It's a Division II program, but they crank out NFL players like it's going out of style. So check them out.
Powerhouse.
All right. So that's Red Wolves, okay? The next one, the Washington Monuments. What do you think about that? DC. Instead of Washington, they're called the DC Monuments. And what you think?
I mean, it's 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Like it's an easy aesthetic. You know what I'm saying? But personally, it feels a little arena league-ish to me. I don't know if I could rock with it like that. Going from Redskins to Monuments, I'd feel away.
I gotcha. Okay, yeah. With everything going on, Confederate statues and all that shenanigans, and
it's just a little too much. It leaves a little bit too much on the table, and it's
one controversy to another.
And everything with Washington is already low-hanging fruit, so don't give anybody any more ammo.
All right. You ready for the next one?
Yeah.
All right. The Washington Warriors.
I like it. I think it would be decent.
With Trump as the logo.
No. You know what? I'm out. Goodbye. I mean, but no, in all seriousness, I think it'd be all right. Like it'd be cool. But there's already the Golden State Warriors, so it's like it wouldn't feel, very unique. But at the same time, you'd still get to keep a lot of the imagery, colors, and whatnot. So I mean, I would say that I would give it a 7.5 out of 10.
I like
it.
It
would be
I like
decent.
it.
Yeah.
All right, we got 2 more. You ready?
Okay.
Okay, I sent this to you in a text message. I'm pretty sure you remember this. You and our brother Jason had a pretty good chuckle over it. The Washington Karens. Okay? And on the logo, it's going to be a middle-aged white woman holding a cell phone. And you know how, like, if it was to be the Washington Redwolves, right? It was going to be, oh! Well, instead, it's going to be a bunch of phones going off.
Yep. You know, I'm gonna give that a 9 out of 10 because I'll give you a scenario. We're in the 4th quarter, 2 minutes left. I'm down 7, and a call doesn't go my way. Someone's gonna call the manager, and it's gonna go our way. So you know what I'm saying? That right there, it's like a little bit of an incentive. So I'll take it.
I like it. I like it. And hey, while wolves scare people, they're also an endangered species. Karens are not. So. Yeah, they're coming to a police department near you, huh?
Oh, yeah. You will quietly change.
I love it. I love it. All right, last one on the list, okay? This is my personal favorite. I'll throw that out there to the fans. The Washington Redtails. Ski gear. What you think, man?
So, the story, I love it, but the only thing that kind of keeps me away from it has nothing to do with the Tuskegee Airmen. I love the history. You know, it would be very befitting and honoring of a heroic and amazing group of, you know, individuals that really turned the tide of the war for us. However, having said that, I don't think it would behoove us to go with that because we're already the butt of everyone's joke. Hint, hint. If we're the Redtails and we take a horrible loss, it's just too easy for them to just come out and be like, oh, the Redtails, your butts are red because you got your tails whooped. I don't want that. It's just like a layup for everybody else. So it's just like, I can't do it.
Could you imagine the memes after like a bad loss to the Eagles and it's just like some like greasy Philadelphia Italian guy with a belt like whooping a Redtail's butt and the
exactly. Matter of fact,
this would be the worst meme.
Matter of fact, think of the 2010 Michael Vick Monday night Eagles-Redskins game. Remember that?
Vaguely. What happened? Refresh me.
Michael Vick went off for a monumental amount of points. I think it was like 59 to like 21 or something.
Yeah, okay, yep, I remember. I fully remember. Yeah.
Monday night for the world to see, by the way. So you imagine that type of game scenario where the Redtails? No, I'm not giving people that. That's a freebie.
Gotcha. Now let's talk logos and stuff changing. Are they going to be keeping their color scheme? I heard the logo's also gone as well too. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, EA Sports just took the logo off, and they said they're just going to give us a generic kind of team name and color until we come out with something official. So Madden, if we don't get it by Madden, or by the time Madden comes out, will be like the Washington Argonauts or some crazy crap. But that's
ain't
right.
Nothing worse than an Argonaut.
Yeah, no.
I have no clue what an Argonaut is.
It's something with an Odyssey in Greece. I don't know. But I think I'm hearing that we're going to keep the colors. I would prefer we keep the colors. But over the years, a lot of the fan base has been wanting to revamp the uniforms. Not even revamp them, but just kind of go back and start wearing a lot of our throwbacks. Because we have a rich history of uniforms and so many different combinations, but we don't really delve into them. You know what I'm saying? So I think with this rebranding, now would be a good time to kind of to go with everything, or go back and dip our toe in the previous things we've had. And for instance, if we go with like a REDWOLVES concept, it would work because you can still keep the R. That can be the logo or a wolf, but we can keep that R logo that we already have helmets for. And instead of the feathers, it can be a wolf tail, which aesthetically is not very different as far as like the silhouette. And I think it would work, and all parties involved would break even on that.
See, I disagree. I think it's offensive, and I think PETA is going to come for your neck. That's just my.
Wow.
Just kidding.
And the good thing is, well, not the good thing, but the positive thing out of this is REDWOLVES are actually an endangered species. So if we do go with that name, it will help bring a lot more covering, or what's the word I'm looking for? Exposure to that specific species.
Absolutely.
And help with that effort, get them back howling strong. So a lot of positives, I think, that would go with that.
Absolutely. Much like what happens, with the Miami Dolphins. There's a lot of conservation efforts, not only in South Florida but all of Florida. And
right.
It's crazy. I actually had the privilege of going with my family to Miami Beach last year. Had a great time, and I actually saw a dolphin in Miami. Is the irony.
Real vibe.
Absolutely. Dade County, what's up? Awesome. Wait, let's segue into our next thing here I want to talk about. Now, you and I had a conversation recently earlier this week. We were taking and talking about other logos and a lot of hypocrisy that's currently going on right now, right? So we got the Fighting Irish, got the Cleveland Indians, which is a caricature. Well, I know they recently changed it, but the caricature for a long time of man with the red face and a big smile, much like a minstrel show. Very, very offensive, very horrible, all serious. Talk to me about hypocrisy. What is this whole changing? What double standards are you currently seeing right now?
Well, for me, it's one of those things where I want to know. For instance, let me preface it by saying, if there are Native Americans that are genuinely offended by our name, then yes, let's make a change. I would never want to alienate anyone for the purpose of something so trivial as sports. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it. Having said that, I want to know, where is this coming from? Is this a real thing? Is this real Native Americans coming out and say, this offends me, I don't like it? Or is this something different? Is this white liberals, I'm not a big race person, but let's call it a spade a spade. Is this white liberals telling us what we should and should not be offended by? Is this their way of trying to maybe assuage their own guilt for what they've done to Native Americans by saying, here's a win for you, we're taking these names away? But by doing this, are we actually helping Native Americans out? Are we making any new programs to help them out? Like, what are we really accomplishing here? You know what I'm saying? When I speak to Native Americans that I know, my own girlfriend, Patricia, she is one half Native American. Oh, wow. And her family on her dad's side is Native American, almost fully. And I gauged all of their interests just in passing, candidly, over a few drinks, like, hey, you know what? Just out of curiosity, when you think of the Washington Redskins, does that name offend you? Like, does that, bring up any feelings? Like, what do you think? Like, what's the first thought you feel when you hear that name? And unanimously, all of them are like, oh, I love them. They represent us. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you mentioned before. The Cleveland Indians, they're a caricature, right? Mm-hmm. The Chiefs, Kansas City Chiefs, they're more of a blanket kind of just Chiefs.
Very general term.
Yeah, like the Atlanta Braves, these are general. The thing about the Redskins is, for us, I think it's the name and the color that invokes it elicits a response from a lot of people, because they hear Redskins and they assume that is a derogatory term towards Native Americans. Those are the people that are ill-informed, that don't do their research. There's a lot of groupthink when it comes to matters like this. That's a racist name. It's like, oh, is it? That tells me you haven't read Merriam Dictionary, Webster's Merriam, or Webster Merriam. You know what I'm talking about? The dictionary that we all read.
Merriam.
Exactly. Yeah, there we go. If you do your research, you will find out that the term Redskins was never started as a derogatory term, but more so represented the Indians when they would go into battle and paint their faces red. It then later became synonymous with a derogatory term by white individuals much later on in life. But the original meaning of the word was never meant as a derogatory term. And to that effect, our logo is not a caricature. It is an actual portrait of a real man. Information is free. You can go on Google and find this out. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he was very sad that this is happening. It's like, this is of all the teams, this is the one team we felt like, yo, they're honoring us. Like, this is, front office shenanigans, all that notwithstanding, just the name, everything that we are about, it represents Native Americans everywhere. And not one Native American I've spoken to has had an issue with it. Granted, like I said, if there are Native Americans that are out there that feel a way, by all means, I do not want to alienate anyone. I'm just saying my personal experience, I haven't found any that don't feel the way. So it's, and then about double standards, there's all this energy towards all.
Got the Irish, fighting Irish and stuff.
Yeah, there's all this energy towards, all these quote unquote colored mascots, the Braves, the Indians, the Chiefs, the Redskins, the Seminoles, all these other things, but we don't have that same energy towards the fighting Irish. Now let's I'm gonna break it down one by one. We'll start with the fighting Irish, right?
Uh-huh.
Is that not the epitome of a negative stereotype based on a group of people? You're talking about angry, drunk Irishmen that are just angry and fighting. And I know some Irish guys, they get mad when they get drunk, and they're ready to go. And they'll be the first to tell you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but there's not even a mention of that. You know what I'm saying? So it tells me that it's fine when it's something else, like another perceived lesser than mascot, but when it is a mascot of the established order, it's not going to be said because there's no win in there for it. At that point, they've already won. You got the Fighting Irish, you got the Vikings. All they did was rape and pillage. There's no redeemable quality of a Viking in whatsoever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there's nothing towards them. You can go Patriots, but I mean, that's hit or miss because you can go with the American angle. So it's like I get it, but if we want to talk about it, Patriots from a real standpoint just came and slaughtered billions of people and made a country.
Yeah.
So I mean, so I have to know as a Redskins fan, what's the real issue here? Like, what are we really talking about? What are we really trying to accomplish? Okay, we change our name, we change our logo. Now we're a different team. We're, let's say, the Redwolves, the Redtails, the Monuments, what have you. We're no longer the Redskins.
The Karens.
What has been accomplished? Yeah, the Karens. what has now been accomplished for the Native American people? It's very similar. It's like it's performative protest, a pejorative protest. Nothing real is coming from it. It's just, it's like very similar to a couple of weeks ago when, the Black Lives Matter protest was happening and all these companies put the black squares on all their social media. It's like, I stand in solidarity with you people. It's like, do you? Or did you just put a black square on your social media so that you didn't have to spend a dime towards helping anybody and you look good amongst your peers? It's the best way to, from a business standpoint, operate without really offending anybody. So it's like, for me, I'm somebody, I don't BS. I see things for what they are. I take them at face value. Everything else is just window dressing. So it all just feels very fake and phony to me with all of this. So, yes, for me, I am very passionate about the name because I know that there's an ulterior motive.
Yeah.
It's not what it seems, at least to me. And if I'm wrong, hey, call me out. But like I said, I call a spade a spade. But that's kind of my idea.
Absolutely. And while and thank you for breaking that down so eloquently for me. Definitely do appreciate it. And for those who don't know, the Native American gentleman who's I actually looked this up while you were speaking, actually, he is part of the Blackfeet Nation, as a matter of fact. The Native American gentleman, and it is his grandson who's currently still alive right now. So very, very interesting if you guys check that out. And that was actually from, it was a Montana, it was a tribe based out of Montana, actually, and whatnot. So if you guys get a chance to check that out, very, 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 very cool. Excellent. Now, what do you think is, you have a lot of Washington fans, Washington Redskins fans, what have you. They're looking on leaving the team. Now, I joined. Part of the Touchdown with Doug Smith is that not only do I try to cover as much different teams unbiasedly and more thoroughly as possible, but I also join other fan groups, and I try to be a fly on the wall and suck in as much information as I can. That being said, a lot of folks are saying that they're leaving. Like, they're done with the franchise. They're done.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like this is and I'll be honest with you, majority white guys, you know. I'm done, man. I'm done. You know.
Really? No way. No.
You get out of here. I thought it'd be Asian, for crying out loud.
But with all seriousness though, like, what do you think's going on in Washington, HTTR Nation, Hail to the Redskins Nation? Like, what do you think's going on with that?
So as a fan and one who's been a fan for the greater part of the last 25 years, I can tell you the people that are leaving ain't gonna put a dent in Redskins Nation. One thing people don't know is we are, as bad as we might be, as crazy as things might be for us at times, we ain't going nowhere. We have one of the biggest fan bases globally, because not only are we a huge fan base here, but we are very involved in the military, and more specifically the USO. So we're very visible all over the world on a lot of military bases. Germany, we have a huge presence. You know, Kaiserslautern, Landstuhl, Ramstein, these huge American bases over there. The Middle East, all over Europe, Spain, Turkey, you know, Africa, we are global. And, you know, there are a lot of people that feel like, well, I'm leaving. But, you know, it's like the St. Louis Rams when they left, or the Houston Oilers when they left. They actually left physically. Or the Oakland Raiders when they left twice. We're just changing our name. We're not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So, and I guarantee the people that do leave, once we start winning some games, which it's on its way, they'll be back. It's up to us now to decide if we want to keep them or if we're allow them to come back.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is, like, it's like the folks are like, you know, they're not standing for the flag. I never watch a football again. And then meanwhile, they're around the corner and they're like peeking through the door.
Exactly.
You know, or like, I'm burning my Nike. I was like, man,
we'll never watch another goddamn game again, all in the name of Sam Hill. Hey, baby, what's the score? You know, it's.
Oh, good for them.
You can check that NFL.com or something for me. I just want to know what the score is. I don't care about it. I just want to know. Get out here with that.
Hey, there's one word for the 2 words for those folks: keyboard warriors. You know.
Exactly. You gotta put our fingers, get the triggering, all that.
Absolutely. All right. So next segment I want to take and talk about. Go ahead. We'll finish off with this here. Now, AAF didn't work out. XFL, COVID happened. That went under, right?
Right.
If the NFL would have start a new league, say a minor league, much like baseball and basketball have. You know, NBA, they have the summer league and stuff like that. And, you know, in baseball, there's minor league stadiums around the nation, right?
Right.
That being said, I wrote a few names down. You let me know what you think of these, okay?
Okay.
All right. I got the Idaho Caucasians, minor league for the Las Vegas Raiders. It's going to be a blonde-haired, blue-eyed gentleman wearing a polo, and he has a fishing pole. What you think, man?
I think we need to greenlight it yesterday. Like, that is where we need to be, what we need to have out there. And I think a lot of people get behind it.
I like it. Hey, it includes everybody because all lives do matter, right? Okay.
Every last one of them.
All right, next one, okay? The Manhattan Greed. Their stadium will be in Wall Street. It's going to be a $sign in green jerseys. Okay. What you think?
And maybe have Leonardo DiCaprio come to the owner's suite every now and then. A little Wolf of Wall Street action. I love it.
Awesome. All right, next one. The South Florida minor league for Miami Dolphins, mind you. South Florida Puerto Ricans, and on the helmet, it's going to have a chancla or a sandal for those who don't speak Spanish. What do you think? Yeah, because nothing more strikes more fear in people's hearts than a flying sandal hitting your behind. What you think?
I almost got flashbacks myself. I think absolutely. All we need is a mascot. It's either going to be your Uncle Willie or a coquille. So I think we'll be good.
I like it. And alternate jerseys will have a rice and gandules. That's rice and pigeon peas. And for those who call me racist, listen, folks, I'm half Puerto Rican. I could say jokes all day. So shut your mouth. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Last one. You ready for it?
Yep. Let's do it.
The New England. And mind you, it's minor league for the Patriots, okay?
Okay.
The New England Poverty. And on the logo, it's going to be a wheelbarrow with some potatoes in it.
Woo!
Colonial times, right? Like humble, you know? Like,
I really like the idea, but as long as I got my clam chowder, then we're good.
Hey, man, you pack the car, go to the harbor, make sure you wear your Tom Brady jersey, okay? Now, if you drive too hard in the highway, your fingers might get blisters. But as long as you get that chowder, man.
You know, and as long as they're playing close to TD Waterhouse, then we're good.
Okay, Whitey Bulger. All right. Awesome. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, hey, Isaac, man, I want to thank you so much for stopping by here today. Folks, give a round of applause for my brother, Isaac Davidson, for blessing us with his time here today. Isaac, any shout-outs here?
Hey, shout out to you again. Thanks for having me on, man. Shout out to everybody listening. Y'all are dope. I really enjoyed it the last time. This was even that much more fun. Shout out to my brother Jason, his wife Jenny, parents Isaac and Lydia, a beautiful girlfriend Patricia. Love you.
Yes.
And again, thanks for having me, man. It's always a pleasure. I will definitely be back.
Anytime. Hey, folks, for those listening, this is going to be the first or second of many. So, the people have spoken, and they love them some Isaac Davidson. Really quickly as well, make sure you guys hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button. Folks, you can follow me on Twitter at The Touchdown with Doug Smith. Also catch me on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and of course YouTube. That's where you're watching this here, Philly. Also as well, catch my videos on moneyline-media.com. They don't not only have my videos, they have tons of other podcasts on there as well too, from sports and all different other kinds of great stuff. So, anywho, that's another episode of Touchdown with Doug Smith. Peace.